Well, it's day 5 of Morning Manna. So far, we've walked through the steps of salvation, the importance of getting on a reading plan, as well as the transformation of becoming a new being. And then on yesterday, we talked about how crucial it is to pray for our enemies. All of these elements contribute to the journey of being like Jesus. Now today, I want to unpack the essence of serving others. Now, if you look at the life of Jesus, many of the works that he did were towards helping other people. He was always healing, he was teaching, he was serving and just loving people. And the list just goes on and on. In John 15, we see that Jesus sets an example for us to follow. After washing his disciples' feet, man, we see such humility. What an act of love. What an act of service. He encourages us to follow his lead and serve one another, saying, I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Now we're talking about Jesus, okay? We're talking about the Son of God, the righteous one, the most high King. Yet he never placed himself above anyone. He never placed himself in a position over others. Instead, he led by example through serving. Jesus shows us that serving others is the mind and the heart of the Father. Paul tells us in Philippians 2 verses 3 through 5 that we are to do nothing out of selfish ambition or in vain conceit. Rather, in humility, we must value others above ourselves. This is the true essence of selflessness. And that's not looking at your own interest, but to the interest of others. Now, because we were born into sin and we were shaped into this selfish nature, living a selfless life doesn't always come naturally. Again, this is the work of the Holy Spirit. It's something supernatural. It comes from the work of God who transforms us from the inside to take action. It's unfortunate that like children, we're often very self-centered and only want what is ours. And even worse, as we get older, doesn't always seem to change much. Now, if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down, as you may have already heard this before, but it's worth saying again, and that is selflessness. It's not thinking less of yourself. Being humble, it is not thinking less of yourself, but rather thinking of yourself less. Serving others is more than just checking off a box or keeping up with a to-do list, but the heart of selflessness is that of a servant. It means to genuinely care about others. It's keeping our eyes and our hearts open for a divine appointment to touch someone, enabling them to encounter the love of Christ. On a daily basis, we must allow the prompting of the Holy Spirit to lead us to when it's the right time to step out and help someone. And this doesn't necessarily mean that we are to take every opportunity that's presented before us. Instead, what it does mean is that we must take the time to pray, stop, and ask God, who is it that I'm supposed to help today? Challenge yourself to do that on a daily basis. Look for opportunities, whether they are big or whether they're small. Seek ways to serve others before yourself. Maybe it's an elderly person at the grocery store, or maybe your neighbor needs help with their lawn. Whatever that looks like for you, the process is to stop, pray, and ask God, what am I to do? And I promise, when you ask, He will speak to your heart. When you do this, you'll be living out what it looks like to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Being the hands and feet looks different. It looks like humility. And I'll tell you, if you're looking for a way to serve, you know that here at Manna Church, it's our core of what we believe. Outreach is the core of what we do. There are so many opportunities for you to be a part of being the hands and feet of Jesus. You can simply do that by going to manna.church to take advantage of those opportunities. And I want to just encourage you even now to be encouraged to live a life that puts others first without expecting anything in return. After all, this is what we do at Manna. We serve others with no strings attached. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'll see you again tomorrow morning.